When evaluating the dreaded shin splint, we have to know where it's coming from and the difference between the two. So we're going to start with the less common shin splint, which is the outside part of the shin. And really what it comes down to is looking at how the ground's reacting with the body. So if we pull this runner through and we're going to stop him at initial contact when that foot's just about to hit the ground, if we come in and we draw the ground's going to contact him at the heel, which is going to slap his foot to the ground like this. Now this whole motion is controlled by a muscle group that is on the outside portion of his shin. This anterior tibialis comes over and grabs onto the inside part of his foot. And really what that muscle is doing is it's pulling up in this direction. So think of this really fast motion. You get this really big, quick slap to the ground. Watch that foot slap to the ground. That's all controlled by the front of the shin. There's a lot of force. If we were to look at the force dynamics of that, it's a lot of force in a short period of time, and the foot slaps, and then the foot leaves the ground. That force is so great that it's like tugging on a shirt. If you just grab onto your shirt real quick and give it a couple tugs, that's what the muscle's doing to the bone. So this is a huge form issue, and it's fairly common with new runners who the muscle's not developed enough to withstand this, or high school runners who aren't fully developed and strong to absorb that force. So if we have this tenderness right along the outside part of the shin, as it comes down right along the crest of that tibia or shin bone, it's generally a form flaw issue and needs to be worked on by learning to land midfoot. So that's the first type of shin splint that we'll mention, and then we go on and we're going to talk about the more common medial shin splint. The second shin splint, the medial tibial stress syndrome, is a little bit more common, and it has actually a medical term diagnosis for it. But this is caused from weakness in the foot and ankle and poor balance and foot strength. So this is the exact same runner. We're going to slow this down a little bit, and we can watch the foot strength. So let's just kind of watch the right-hand side with the pink shoes, and you can see that if you watch the midline of her foot, watch her foot smash down. And then we'll kind of look at the blue shoes, and you're going to see nice, good foot control. I'm going to talk about it in slow motion. But this is a huge issue with shin pain for a lot of runners because they have such poor foot control. So if we come back and let's look at the before view, when she's coming in contact with the ground, we ask ourselves again, what is the ground doing to the foot? The ground is going to come up and it's going to push on her foot and ankle from the outside border. You're meant to land on the outside border of your shoe. That's normal if you see the wear pattern there. That outside border causes the foot to pronate to the ground and spin in. That is normal. So as she hits on the outside border, you're going to see that foot kind of cave in, and we see that she gets into this presentation where her foot and ankle is down and in, and she gets stuck there. As her foot comes through, you're going to see she has trouble getting out of it and pulling through. Now we see the same thing on the opposite side. Remember, look at the midline of her shoe. Look at that white stripe right down the back of her shoe. As she lands, you can see that whole foot and ankle cave in. The muscle controlling this is the posterior tibialis. It attaches to the foot and ankle and comes up on the inside portion of the shin and pulls up like this. So tenderness along the inside part of the shin is due to the posterior tib muscle and its inability to control this through mid stance. So if you're having pain on the inside part of the shin, this is different than the outside. It's due to poor foot control. Generally you want to do a lot of hip strengthening, foot and ankle strengthening to control these forces as you come down. If you can't control these forces, again, it's like tugging on a shirt. That's what the muscle's doing to the bone. This is the same runner on the left hand side that went through foot and ankle strengthening at RunSmart, and you can see that not only did we fix her foot strike, but as she lands you're going to see less pronation force through the foot and ankle as she comes through and pulling back up. She never gets that full down and in motion that gets her over pronating because she can't control at the foot and ankle. So really, again, posterior tib comes up through here, pulls on the foot and ankle to lower it down. Think of it as lowering someone off a cliff. That foot and ankle muscle, if it's weak, tugs on the bone and causes that shin splint. So it's not a matter of, hey, let's just come in and build a wedge in here. That's a nice short-term fix, but it really comes down to maximum strength, the hips, the foot and ankle, and really being a more consistent runner and not throwing mileage at it before track starts or as you start to resume normal running. For more ways to prevent shin splints and other overuse running injuries, we encourage you to take the 10-day challenge at RunSmartOnline.com. Read articles, learn drills, and participate in workouts that are 30 minutes in length and sure to make you a faster, stronger, smarter runner.